Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah. Big 14, what the fuck going on? Hey, hold up, take a moment, count my guap, count my guap. All these racks bumming in, they bumming in. Hold up, hey, count my guap, count my guap. Can I stop coming in, coming in? Put up in the drop top, she dropped it. I put up in the drop top, she dropped it. My diamonds dancing high skies, they hold this. My diamonds dancing high skies, they hold this. Yeah, hold up. I don't know what planet I'm on. I'm a king, little bitch, watch the throne. Feel like bottom on top of your heart. Yeah, steady to cause it heavy. Yeah, bitch, I'm ballin' hard just like a maverick. Money stretch long, little bitch like elastic. Now that bitch steady calling me Mr. Fantastic. Yeah. No, I keep a ratchet. If you play, boy, I turn your ass to acid. Automatic, doom, 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 bill, bitch, I'm blasting. Yeah, put you in a casket. Money sits long, it's elastic. I don't know what planet I'm on. I'm a king, little bitch, watch the throne. Feel like bottle on top of your heart. Take a moment, count my guap, count my guap. Yeah. All these racks bumming in, they bumming in. Hold up. Hey, count my guap, count my guap. Can I stop coming in, coming in? Yeah. Put up in the drop top, she dropped it. I put up in the drop top, she dropped it. Yeah. My diamonds dancing high skies, they hold it. Yeah. My diamonds dancing high skies. Yeah.
Astral worlds, my planet, my home. Cost too high, the fumes too strong. Mix this cup for way too long. Add it up, don't subtract it. Yeah. For this with me and let's get blasted. Straight up, Lambo drive like a dragon. Can't fall asleep at night cause they attacking. In the coupe go insane. Disappear, go they be blame. We don't let the same.
But Rodgers is a fucking fossil. This team's in shambles. The Steelers are a wagon at home. It's going to be a gross fucking game. And I'm going right back to fading the Jets.
And once again, the 49ers and Kyle Shanahan, when the lights are bright, do not show up and they fold. Their receivers are banged up. The ones out there couldn't catch shit. Their defense is taking a step back. This 49ers team is a fucking joke, and I'm looking at you, Kyle Shanahan. You're supposed to be that guy.
In the postseason for the first time in his career, and they find a way to fucking blow it. Look, we should have known the Yankees bullpen was going to come back and bite them in the ass at some point. They've been a little bit too good, but my goodness, did we think it was going to be Big Christmas?
What's going on, chat? Welcome back to another episode of BTL with your host, Jovan and Rav today.
Jovan, thank you for having me on, dude.
Super rare, of course.
Let's go. I'm hyped.
Yeah, I need to get nice this weekend and get nice today, more importantly. So we're going to have Rav on here. Trent's going to also come on for, I believe, the NFL segment, but we're shortened to a little bit of an hour today. So we want to get straight to business. I want to hop straight into the recaps. We've got a couple days to go over, Goots. So go ahead and get those up and moving. Holy sharp report. Krabs absolutely dialed 4-1.
Holy shit. Krabs.
Dialed his ma. Absolutely dialed his ma.
Wednesday.
He's been so dialed.
So dialed. And the squad ride, I believe, Northridge is also on that graphic. I mean, 3 straight play of year nominations from Krabs.
Northridge, there it is.
There it is. Needs to be talked about to open the college basketball season. This is Krabs season. This is when you buy in. The dude's fucking locked. So, W squad ride on Wednesday. W plays from the both of us on Wednesday as well. And then we had the sneak sharp report on Thursday as well. Yesterday, 2 and 3 from the both of us. Could have been better.
Still Idaho, no heart.
No heart. They showed heart at the beginning of the game, though.
They did. They did. Not long enough, but didn't feel right without the BTL in there. It was always the Bengals stack, though. They were never losing that game by a touchdown, and Tanner Hudson was Gronk. So
He
shout out
was.
to them. Shout out to them. But yes, we've got some plays for today. I want to hop right into those. Rav also has some plays for today.
Yeah.
Gonna get into some of those and then hop through the rest of the games today and the weekend plays.
Yeah, dude, of course, yeah. A
course.
Rav sharp report. Who would have seen it coming?
Yeah, I mean, that's super rare. Super rare. Does not grow on trees, but I've got some plays for you, Rav. I'm going to start off with the under in Cal Wake tonight, which this is the third time Cal's going out east because they went to FSU and they also went to Auburn. Snooze festive games. I guess fourth time because they also went to Pitt. All three of those have been snooze festive games. I don't think it's really any accident because, I mean, a couple teams are pretty far away from each other. Talk about like FSU, Auburn, and then Pitt. Pitt's actual competent offense. That's not this big defensive team, but I think we're going to get a fourth snooze fest for Cal in this game. And I think it's actually pretty crazy that they're hanging a touchdown on the hook with how they've performed as decent-sized favorites this year. They play everybody close, so I do think they control this game. Only way it's going to happen, though, is with defense. So that little slow mesh, a lot of like the option game and RPO game has not really worked against them this year. The pass defense has been great. They are still like close to the top of college football and interception. So teams are a little scared to throw on them if you're not like the more explosive offenses in the world. I think that Wake's going to have a lot of trouble, not going to move the ball that well. Kind of feels like we're going to see something similar to the Pitt game where it's close, low scoring. The run game is going to be pretty prevalent on both sides. A lot of mistakes in the passing game potentially.
Total super high too.
Super high, and I don't think it gets there.
I like that.
W light movage.
Yeah, well, that's huge.
Huge. Do you want to snake draft here? Go back to Rav.
Yeah. I'll do my first one.
How about your first sharp report?
My first sharp report, first play, Iowa -6.
The picture has me geeking.
Yeah, that picture is crazy. We didn't even take that here.
Fucking cheesing, bro.
Cheesing. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Iowa -6. UCLA has been showing a lot of heart the last few weeks. They've actually looked like they've had a competent offense with Garbers, but their run game is still really bad. They have not played a defense that's nearly as locked as Iowa's. And speaking of Iowa's offense, I mean, talk about a revelation this year that no one's talking about. Leicester has changed that offense. They're 7-2 the over this year. Wow. They've scored 40 points the last 2 games. That's fucking insane. And I think they keep it going. Even though they're going across country, I love to fade that. But Sullivan, the Northwestern quarterback, the change has been great. Again, 40 points the last 2 games. He's played the last 2 games. Caleb Johnson is unbelievable. And I don't think UCLA is ready for this type of defense to come in and just smash them in the mouth. So I like Iowa -6. I kind of lean the over too, but it is 2 very defensive teams, or I guess 1 defensive team and 1 defensive coach. So I'm just going to go with -6.
Yeah, man. Sullivan's literally Lamar.
Yeah.
That offense has been actually getting nice.
Dude, you know what? So nice. And you know what? I think that he actually throws a little bit today.
Wow. I mean, that could be the difference. Later. That could be the difference. You might need that, honestly. I don't know if I like points in that game, but I'm definitely with you on Iowa. I'm looking at your sharp report, dude. You're telling me you were just saying you wanted to go this game and you're fading the Suns, bro? I think it's a good play.
I'm not going to get to the fucking table with that, but by all means, please get to the table with that.
Please get. I might get to the table with that.
I'm telling you. Should I just go to the next in the mouse? Chad, I'm a Suns fan, and it has been a great start to the year for the Suns. But when I tell you that they are due for loss, they are due for loss, and this is the spot here. You've got the Suns coming in to Dallas, which, by the way, is a rivalry. Doncic and Booker hate each other. Both these teams hate each other. This is going to be a nasty game, and I want to go just to fucking chirp all those Bass fans. But this is a spot where the Suns get their first loss. Doncic is going to show up, and they haven't been too good against the spread either. All their wins have been close. I think back to when Trent had the Suns in Fugazi 5, and it was a close game. They honestly should not have won that game, and they did. I think they're very due for loss, and it comes tonight in Dallas, unfortunately. I would like to go and not see it happen, but it's probably going to happen.
It's probably going to happen. I hope it happens because you're going 1-on-1 on those 2 plays because that Nuggets play might be a shit wager. Might be shit wager of cinch, dude.
Dude.
Might be shit wager of cinch.
Let's go back to yours, and I'll go back to mine later.
No, I'm just playing. Yeah, good. We'll snake draft back to me, Goods. Kansas -7.5 today at UNC. I do love taking these big favorites in games early in the season when you're playing 2, I guess, top 10 teams, kind of because this fits the bill, but it's 2 really good teams, period, early in the CBB season. There's a reason why the line's so fat. It's one of the rare games we're getting with one of these marquee matchups that isn't at a neutral site, even though like the Zags game really wasn't at a neutral site, but technically by the book it was. It was in Seattle. But Kansas laying a fat number. I think they have all the advantage in this game. The roster is super deep. I'm still not sold on UNC. Like they have a couple guards that are pretty experienced. RJ Davies, obviously. Elliot Cadeau. Like those guys can score. Those guys can control the tempo of the game, but there's weak inside. Like Jalen Withers, respectfully, does not do it for me. Now I'm zoomed in his mom and Rebecca. Jalen Withers and like everybody in the front court don't really do it for me. And if you're going to give Kansas a chance at home to open the season in this big game where you're going to have Hunter Dickinson doing whatever he wants on the inside, whether it's on the glass or whether it's physically scoring, I think UNC gets absolutely run over. And that's why you're seeing a big-time matchup here with a touchdown in the hook for Kansas in a game that I think they're going to dominate. There'll be plenty of points. UNC can score with, I think, just about everybody, but I think Kansas just wears them down throughout the rest of the game. So I think the punch them in the mouth early, and then maybe UNC hangs around for a little bit throughout the rest of the game, and then Kansas finishes job towards the end.
Dude, I like that.
Yeah, I have to like that.
I mean, I don't know a ton about college basketball this year, but I know that Baycott's not there anymore. Is the whoever they brought in for him like been solid because he's go against Dickinson?
Yeah, I mean they have like 3 guys in rotation, and they were getting bodied by Elon Biggs. So
Jesus,
that's not only one of the reasons I'm on Kansas, but one of the reasons I will be squaring up with Dickinson on the Prize Pick Squares. So you'll see in a little bit. So Kansas, I'm on. Back to the gridiron. I'm going to take Rice +8, which was a weird play because usually I would be like on the other side because Rice just had a big win against Navy. Super weird game. Shout out Rev, -500 in the Get Nice.
Fuck you, dude.
But it was a weird like rain delay game or lightning delay game for 4 hours. Like they came out and dominated. The defense was great. I don't know, really since the first bye week for Rice, the defense has looked really good. They've started to get it together. They're really bad to open the season, but they fired their coach before last week, and they looked really good in that game. Overall, the offense has been taking steps the last handful of weeks with or without the coach. But now you get a Memphis team who's coming off a pretty bad loss to UTSA, another team that's starting to play a little better, but UTSA threw all over them. Owen McCown was fantastic. I think Memphis is starting to fall off a cliff. So, like, you look at this game, it's like the typical buy low, sell high spot it would be for Memphis, but they opened like 10.5, 11. Now Rice is down to +8, which I think is incredibly odd, incredibly short, especially at Memphis in the Liberty Bowl. But I think I'm kind of buying into Rice, not just because of the fired coach narrative last week, but they've started to play really good. The defense has been great. And if you're going to give this offense a chance to open it up against a Memphis defense who have been religiously fading the last couple weeks because they are just that bad, I'm going to continue to do it. EJ Warner is going to bust in this game, and it's not going to have to be the defense reliant game that Rice has played for a couple weeks. And they're not too scared to go on the road either. They did go on the road and hung with Tulane on the road when they were playing really good ball for, I don't know, 3/4 of that game. It was tied in the 4th quarter. I think they do it again at the Liberty Bowl. Could be a Dean Connors massive game readout, but I'm against Memphis in their secondary. I'm leaning a little bit more on EJ Warner. So I'll be talking about him for a second. So that's my play. Rav, give me your Nuggets. Solid job, man.
Dude, well, it is kind of a little sus because they somehow scraped out a win the last time they were on the court, but I'm just going to fade the Heat here. I mean, they're on a West Coast road trip. The West is just loaded. I think that the West in general is just straight up better in non-conference games when they're playing the East, especially at home. Actually, looking at it right now, teams in the West are 27-11 straight up in non-conference games, and 16-6 when they play at home. So I'm just going to take the Nuggets. I think they're starting to find their groove despite all of the injury spell that they've had. I don't know if Aaron Gordon's playing. I think not playing.
No.
They've still been able to find ways to get it done, so I think they should be able to get it done at home. And Heat, I'm just fading the Heat on a road streak. So Nuggets ML.
That could be a show wager. Holy fuck, the Heat are starting a long road trip or started a long road trip with that Phoenix game.
Yeah.
I'm just looking because the Heat are going to win one of these games they have no business winning on the road because they ain't doing it at home. They're dog shit at home.
They arguably should have won the Suns game.
They should have won, but they didn't. They're going to win one. So it's either today against the Nuggets or it's Sunday at the T-Wolves because they're for sure beating the Pacers one of those 2 games. That doesn't really count, though, and they play the Pistons. So it's kind of expected, even though they're probably going to lose that game, that they would win. It's going to be one of them, Rav.
Hopefully it's not this one.
Hopefully
I would love a nice I can't even say that. I'm going to jinx myself.
Yeah, literally bet. Let's talk about Prize Pick squares, man. I guess I alluded to both of these already, but UNC, obviously no Bookit now. They didn't really do anything to replace anything in the front court that would really make me think they're going to stop Dickinson. So, like, it's a simple angle, of course, but if I'm leaning on Kansas in this game, it's because of the advantage they have on the inside. Withers doesn't do it for me. I forget the main guy's name they just brought in too. They're pretty undersized, and there's no Bookit in there on the offensive end for him to go man for man and get in foul trouble, which is always the question with Hunter Dickinson. But I think he's going to have an absolutely massive game to start the season. And EJ Warner, I haven't really fully decided on the best angle to go with him. Obviously, I've locked this 2-piece in already, but I think yards is a good look. Passing touchdowns is a good look. He has fantasy score up, but I'm attacking this Memphis secondary. I did it last week with Owen McCown. He had an absolute field day. EJ Warner, really since they've been playing better, hasn't had the chance against a truly terrible secondary to really sling the rock, because a lot of the offenses run through Dean Connors because they've been kind of managing the game. They've been playing closer defensive games. This one I feel like is going to be a pretty open game against the secondary. So I think just like last week, I'm going to take something in the pass game against this offense. He's going to have field day. He has a somewhat weird, 2 passing touchdown squares up. He hasn't had 2 since I think their game winner, 3 or 4 weeks ago. So now I think is where he gets it, especially against Memphis. Big time explosive play problem. So Rice, when they do score passing touchdowns, or when EJ Warner does get in the end zone in this manner, it's usually through bombs. So give me EJ Warner to toss 2, and I'll also have some other squares in there too.
Let's go. I love Dickinson. I'm definitely going to put that in something.
Huge Dickinson guy, huh?
Yeah. So my 2, it's going to be Brandon Sullivan pass yards. Just quickly here, UCLA defense hasn't really been too great. I do think that the game goes over so that he starts to throw a little more. I think that the run game starts to really churn, which means they can start optioning really quickly. They can start quick passing, and I think he can easily get to 140 yards. I mean, that's not asking a lot at all. And he has been one of the main reasons why their offense is starting to work now. It's starting to churn. And to go to the second one, Doncic, 49 points, rebounds, and assists. This is a pure narrative ride here. We had Doncic. I think Doncic was a popular play, 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And he did not get there. So did he? I don't think he did.
No, I say sold.
Yeah. So I think that he gets here easily in a narrative spot against the Suns, who are due to lose. I'm sure he really wants to give the Suns their second loss, and this is a Doncic ride here, 49 PRA. I think he triple-double night can go off and give them the win. Unfortunately,
fire up some demon threes for Luka in this game.
I don't know what it's at.
4.5. Looking at it right now. That might be nice. That might get us really nice. I'd be splooging for that. He does love the Muck Suns.
He does love the Muck Suns.
Muck Suns. I could be so in on that. All right.
Do you want to go to Friday college football a little bit?
Yeah, let's go to Friday college football. I want to get Rav's angles on that. Did you fully decide on your play? Is it going to be
It's going to be Iowa. Yeah.
Wow.
Check the splits on those.
Check the splits on those bad boys. I mean, I like Iowa too. I'm right with you. I think it's I don't know, a weird spot because everybody loves to take dogs when these teams are going cross country, and it hasn't really worked out incredibly well. I guess if you're just blind doing it, especially in these weekday games. So I'm kind of buying into the Brendan Sullivan narrative. He's Lamar. Yeah. I think it helps Caleb Johnson too because he's
so much
super mobile. So that's the way to crack a pretty decent defense out there. I don't know that I'm with you and saying there's going to be all that much points or offense in this game, but I do think Iowa can control it.
I also think UCLA's just been overperforming too.
I agree with that. I think their offense probably should be getting slandered a little more than it has.
Garbers has just looked so good, and he's just not that good. He's not.
No, he's just Garbers has bailed them out so many times, dude, and a lot of it's been with his legs.
Dude, that Rutgers game a couple weeks ago was just pissing me off.
That was ridiculous, and I do like that angle of it too. They did burn a lot of people on a not midweek, but also a Friday night game. And
yes.
Now we get another chance here, so I'm 100% in.
Yes.
I'm going to join you on that. I'm going to tell you.
Let's go.
This is your get back right here. All right. So UCLA, that's one of 4 games tonight.
Yeah.
I talked about Cal Wake Forest. I like this under. I also do think it's crazy that Cal's laying a touchdown. Don't want to lay that with them, even though I think that's pretty telling, but Take the under. That's kind of backing them without backing them. Do you have any angles in that game?
Dude, I thought it was so crazy too that Kyle's laying a touchdown.
Yeah.
That kind of makes me want to take it, but I don't know.
It's pretty wild. Pretty wild.
I don't have an angle for it. I think the under is probably what I'll take just off of your play.
Yes. Like that under. I also will get involved with Hank Bachmeier less than 1.5 passing touchdowns on Prize Picks as well.
Love that.
Double correlation there. Plus, Cal pass defense is probably going to pick him off. Might be scared to throw deep. I don't think I'll have that chance either. Slow mesh is going to be moose.
Dude, fuck the slow mesh. I actually hate watching the slow mesh.
I love the slow mesh.
Dude, I hate it.
Tonight I don't like it.
I think it's because I always used to watch the pick games when I was in high school and stuff, and it just would piss me off because it would work.
Yeah, I literally bet. All right, those are the two, I guess, biggest games tonight. Rice, Memphis. Wow, I'm seeing some W line movement towards Rice.
Yeah.
Down to
dude,
7.
What happened to Memphis, dude? They were supposed to be one of the better G5 teams this year, and they just shit down their leg.
I just think they're really never that good, dude. I think they're living off of what the last couple of years they've done, and Hennigan coming back. It's just the returning production was kind of there, but I don't know. Everything really hasn't been smooth. I think the defense is worse than expected. I think the offense can't compensate enough. So, like, now if they're playing a team that's kind of gaining some confidence, they were super excited to get their interim coach a win. And they're talking about they're playing super well for him. They want him to finish out the season well because they're hoping he's the guy that ends up staying there.
Don't even just fucking get me started.
Minus 500. I want to get you started.
You know how much fucking piss I was in after that?
Fired coach narrative, minus 500.
Dude, I know. I just thought it'd be fine. Navy off a loss.
Trent wouldn't even do that.
No, he would do that.
He put Navy minus 500 in his Get Nice last week after the team they're playing fired their coach.
Come on, man.
Dude.
That's bad.
Bad. Really bad. Really bad. And the line was sus. Line moved like 4 points towards Rice, too. Like the writing was on the wall, man. Unbelievable.
It's not being a seasoned vet. It's okay.
It's an inexperienced move from Raf, man. You just hate to see that. But he might be on the block,
dude.
But it might be Rice again tonight. They might continue the momentum. I think so.
Yeah, they probably do have momentum.
I think so. And maybe they get some more points in this game. I would hope so.
Do you like New Mexico in this last game?
Yeah, I was about to say, last game of the night. I do like New Mexico.
I do too, and the total is insanely high.
Yeah, I mean, it's a New Mexico game. Like they've had a damn near 80 total in their games. I don't think it's crazy. But yeah, but I'm so out on San Diego State, dude. I like, not even for last week, because like obviously they get blown out by Boise State. Not giving them any flack for that. But they played a lot of close games. Their offense is super weird. I don't know. I guess New Mexico's kind of is too, but I think it's pretty gimmicky. And if you're going to go band for band with New Mexico in a game where I really don't trust your offense to be super consistent throughout 4 quarters, I don't think that works. It's like I'm taking New Mexico. 100%.
I think I'm going to take New Mexico as well.
That was like first play off the sharp report for me. So I'm 100% in on that.
Yeah, let's go. I mean, San Diego State's offense has also been just so lackluster. So
yeah,
I'm down to fade.
So down, dude. But yeah, that's it for college football. NBA getting nice. We might have to get a preview. Fire it up, Goots.
Fire it up.
Here is our college football weekend preview. Thank God we got Rav back for some picks, and we don't have to hear SEC matchup sell jobs from Trent this week. But we will have him on for NFL, where he's a little more seasoned, a little more locked in. Let's start with the snooze fest. Rav, I'll let you hit lead off because it's just one of the most Rav unders of all time.
Yeah, this is they continue to fade NC State and back a good defense playing them kind of move here. It was a little high, which kind of scared me. I'm assuming that's because of last week. Duke was able to put up a ton of points against Miami and still not get that cover. But I think that their defense gets back on track against an offense that kind of has just been so underwhelming this year compared to what they were supposed to be during the preseason. I actually think that Duke ends up winning this game, and I think it's because their defense, I think, will be able to get it done, but I think it's going to be ugly as fuck. So give me the under 52.5.
I'm in on that. I believe I saw some greener than paws beef squares on Prize Picks too. Malik Murphy, 1.5 passing touchdowns after 3 the last 2 weeks. CJ Bailey, greener than Pa too.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Then you
I
want
kind of think Duke wins too.
NC
Okay.
State is a defensive. It's what's his fucking name, dude? The coach.
The NC State coach.
Yes.
Wow, I'm blanking too.
I'm blanking.
I'm blanking too.
Doran? No. He's a very defensive coach. He usually has great defenses outside of this year. Dave Doran. Yeah, Dave Doran.
Yes.
He's a very defensive coach. Outside of this year, their defense is usually very good. And so I think he'll be able to game plan well against Malik Murphy. He's just really not that great. Not that great.
You know what? Something I noticed too. A lot of these teams, granted, like Duke didn't cover. Shout out Miami for covering. All these teams that play super close with Miami come the next week and cover. Come next week and win. Seen that a lot. So like maybe Duke, even though they didn't cover, they're winning like with late in the third quarter in that game. So I'm counting it.
Dude, yeah.
So if they're winning, I highly doubt it's going to come with points because Malik Murphy is still rat shit. I know he had a couple really good throws early in the game against Miami, but he's also the reason they lost that game.
Yeah.
And the reason they didn't cover that game. So shout out him for that. But he's moose.
Dude, I ended up sneaking that play in last week too, and I was sweaty.
Sweatier than Ma. I almost moved on.
Dude, this one is surgical from you.
Could be surgical. I love fading teams off of bye weeks, and we're getting a big game with both teams coming off of bye weeks. So first half under, and for what it's worth too, Alabama, even though like you look at the Georgia game, you look at the Tennessee game, I think those were two odd games, but the same thing you could say about both of them. Alabama came out in the first half and their defense was stout in both of the games. Like Georgia obviously scored a bunch in the second half, and then Tennessee eventually pulled away in the second half, but these games have been tight to open. And I think this is going to be more of the same, especially the fact that we got both these quarterbacks needing to settle in. So like we have Nussmeier, who really fell apart in that second half against Texas A&M. They had a bye week, obviously, but they haven't had game action since then. I think they want to establish the ground game early and get them, short throws to make them comfortable. And on the other side, Jalen Milroe, Mikey says it best, plays with his eyes closed. So like I think it's the same thing on the other side. This LSU run defense is sneakily bad. Nobody really talks about it, but has not been good, especially against like high-level SEC competition.
Especially against dual-threat quarterbacks.
Yeah, dual-threat quarterbacks as well. So I feel like the ground game is going to be huge in what Bama does early in the game. So more ground game, more clock chewage, quarterbacks that I think really need to settle in. So I think there's going to be some early jitters. I feel like this is one of the games that you kind of open low and slow. The punters get active early, and then maybe eventually you see some points.
I love that. I love that.
I'm in on that first half under. Let's go to some Mikey overs potentially. I'll hit lead off on this one. Give me the South Carolina Vandy over. And Rav may not like this because he likes South Carolina's defense to lock down Vandy in this game. I don't think that'll be the case. Death Texas and Diego Pavia as a dog. I will back him in some form or fashion every week. Now, I will say I do think Lenore Sellers kind of has his way with this defense too. This is just a game where you have two dual-threat quarterbacks, two very unique offenses, and I know we saw maybe the ceiling, like rushing-wise, for Lenore Sellers last week against Texas A&M. He had a fantastic game. I think he had 100-plus yards on the ground, and it was one of the big reasons why they won that game was his ability to be a dual-threat quarterback. But I think now against this Vandy defense that has kind of struggled in that area, I think he's going to be dynamic, and I think this is going to be, if we're talking about Vandy games against bigger opponents, this is going to be more like the I guess maybe Texas game, but I would say more like the Bama game where I think it's going to be back and forth offense on both sides. And the dual threat quarterbacks really add an extra element to that. And I think Pavia will do just fine as well. So unlike what, South Carolina has done to a couple teams, I guess, and stifled their dual threat ability, I don't think it's the same with Diego Pavia, especially because this coaching staff specifically has struggled with this type of offense when they've seen it in years prior. So give me points in this game, over 45.5.
I mean, I can't say I like it because I really don't think that Pavia is going to get anything going. I mean, they've been able to shut down better quarterbacks, better offenses.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So
Diego Pavia, especially in Nashville, though, just has some magic. And I
he
feel
does. Yeah,
I feel like regardless of how this game turns out, there's going to be some magic. That's why I'm taking you over, and I'm not just going beef to Vandy.
We're getting rumors that Pavia is out.
I don't know that I see that.
From Chote.
Don't know that I see that.
They're up to 6.5.
Don't know that I see that, but regardless, it's also Nate Johnson. So like the dual threat.
True.
The dual threat still holds true Obviously, he ain't Pavia.
That was the guy from Utah, right?
Yeah, Utah.
Yeah.
So like he can. I don't want to say he can run this offense as well as Pavia, but the same elements are there, I guess, because Pavia is not a great passer anyway, so it's not like there's a big drop off. But I think Pavia's playing. I haven't heard otherwise yet.
My over is the most Rab over ever.
Literally.
But this is more on me thinking that Georgia Tech can actually make this a game at home. They have been able to get up for these games where they're at home. They're a double-digit plus underdog. In fact, I think they're the most double-digit underdog wins at home since 2020. I think they have 5 or 6.
Wow.
And
That's a
this is also a little revenge narrative for Miami because this is the game that they fumbled last year with the clock management issue. So I think that Cristobal is going to be pissed. I think that Cam Ward can come out and throw in this defense. But I also think that are they getting Haynes? They're getting Haynes King back.
Haynes King is looking to play as of now. They just named him like a captain for the game, so I assume that means he's going to be up and moving.
Yeah. So by all means, I think he can come out and throw and run on this Miami defense. I think that this over gets there, and every Miami over seems to be getting over. So I'm going to keep going back to the well until it bites me in the ass.
Gladly. I honestly might join you in that. I've been debating what I want to do in this game because I like Georgia Tech and I like, points in this game. I do think as bad as the offense has been without Haynes King, I think he obviously adds an element to the offense that is needed because what is it, Pyron or whatever his name is literally Taysom Hill. So they need somebody that can throw, and Jamal Haynes has also been getting locked up in the run game because they can't throw. They're stacking the box. So, I think this is fine.
Yeah, I also think Georgia Tech is so due for an upset. When I was texting Goods a few weeks ago and they were playing Notre Dame and Mercedes-Benz, I think I said, if Haynes King is playing, I'm taking Georgia Tech. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think this game is going to play out pretty similarly. Maybe not as many points, but to the Louisville game. So there's going to be a little more run game in this one. But
it's always the question, how is Miami going to get bailed out?
Yeah. I think there's going to be back and forth. I think it'll be like a touchdown game with a lot of points. So I'm with you. Rare Rav over I can support.
Let's go.
Because usually they're, I don't know, the most squarest overs of all time. Not this isn't one, but it's one I can get behind. They do be hitting sometimes. They do be hitting sometimes. Let's go to blowout. Favorite.
Shut up.
Splooging, dude.
Wow.
I'm done with UVA. I've been putting them on the list to not fade for a while, and I haven't even gotten burned by them. It's just I've noticed the devil magic for so long, and now I think the wheels are starting to fall off. Now I think the gimmicks of that offense are starting to fall off. I think that defense is beginning to get banged up a little bit with injuries. So now they just got their shit kicked in and finally didn't cover a game, didn't even come close. Now I think the tides turn, especially when you're playing a Pitt team that needs a huge bounce back after getting their shit kicked in. And the biggest game that Pitt football's had in, I would say, quite some time. Do you agree?
Probably since Clemson in 2021.
Yeah. So I will buy in on the bounce back for Eli Holstein. Hopefully he cannot be ratchet, but he's going to get every opportunity he can against this UVA defense. So praying for no backdoor Calandria magic, but I do not think this is a spot for UVA to stick in the game.
It's unfortunate that they lost that game as much as they did last week because everyone wasn't sold on them, and they're a very solid team. Their defense has been way better the last 2 weeks except for last week. And the offense has kind of sputtered. They did end up putting 28 points up. Again, SMU's defense is ass, but so is Virginia. So I definitely think this is a good spot for them to bounce back.
There's no way we're taking the Buffs money line.
Yeah. So we did the show in the coin toss. By the way, go watch the coin toss.
Shit's minus 200, Rav.
Did I give you my 3.5 or money line? Is it minus 200 really?
Yes.
Well, I did not know it was up to that much.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
All right. Well, it's supposed to be 3.5, or just 3, 3.5, 4,
4,
whatever. I think it's gonna be blowout. We did the show. We did this game on the coin toss, and I didn't really have a side. I don't know. I wasn't really sure on what to take. I liked the over, but as the week has gone on, I think this is a spot where people aren't really sure if Colorado's legit or not, and I think this is where Dion and Shador kind of flex their muscles. And I think that Texas Tech is getting a lot of the love, a little too much love. They weren't supposed to be a good team to start the year. They have overexceeded expectations, and now this is a huge game for the Big 12, and I think Colorado kind of makes a statement and wins handily. So I'm going to take Colorado, not ML, because I had no idea it was minus 200. Give me -3. It's going to be a blowout.
Rare time I might agree with you. Taking the fucking Buffs, man.
Dude, no way.
Yeah, chat's going to lose their shit when they see. I'm not even going to say it, but will the Buffs be in the get nice? Rumors are swirling.
Potentially.
Wow.
I don't know. I actually still need to craft it. I have like a few of the legs I like, but I need 1 or 2 more.
Noted. Let's go to some dogs.
You're not going to take it if it's in the get nice?
I might fade if it's in the get nice.
Oh, my God, Jovan.
I might fade. Talk to me about Utah, though. Fading BYU, man.
Yeah, I'm going to put the idiot cap on for fading BYU again. But I don't know any other time to do it. This is not an undefeated team. This is not – I mean, Retzlaff is not as good as people are making him out to be. In fact, he's pretty not great. He has a lot of turnover-worthy throws. He's not a good quarterback. And I think it bites him in the ass this time at Utah against a defensive coach, a coach that can figure them out. And Utah, this is like their last game left of the year that they really only care about. I mean, it's a holy war. It's a rivalry. It's a game that they need to win. Their season's lost. This is the game they need to get up for. And I think Utah can do it. And I hate that this is I'm going back to the fucking well against fucking BYU, but
should play.
I have to do it. Give me Utah plus 3.5. And I know I'm going to get burned and I'm going to fucking hate it, but this is my best upset alert play.
Yeah, I'll let you have that one, Rav. I'll let you have that one. I ain't fading BYU, maybe for the rest of the season, because I learned my lesson very quickly, and then I've had to do it because Krabs has been doing it the last couple weeks and put it in shit. I'm out, but I will not be taking BYU, so I'll let you have that. Nevada, which upset alert probably doesn't fit the bill best because they're not going to win this game, but I think they're going to keep this one close because Nevada, they're playing Boise State, obviously. Nevada is a weird team because they've trotted out a bunch of different quarterbacks. They're like one of the teams that they don't really throw all that much. They have a weird, I wouldn't even call it like Vandy style offense because it's not like option based necessarily, but they rely pretty heavily on the ground game. So like for a team, when you know like they're pretty vulnerable themselves in run defense, obviously that's not great against Ashton J&T, but it's going to be a lot of ground game in this. So like for Boise to win this game by 25, I guess you would need. I think they're really going to have to dominate them through the air in spots too, which I don't think is going to happen. And I also think Nevada is going to have some success of their own on the ground because people honestly sleep because Boise, truth be told, like they've been pretty good against these teams that have been built to more dice them through the air. Like I guess Hawaii is an example. They weren't really good in that game, but the Hawaii run defense was stout. Like they were good against San Diego State, which they need to throw the ball to win. The game they had a little trouble with, obviously, was UNLV, who runs a decent style offense with a mobile quarterback, just like Nevada has. Washington State has to beat you through the air, too, with their kind of air raid weird offense. But now I think this is going to be a strange game, especially being that this is now the part of their schedule where Boise State can kind of get lulled to sleep. They play Nevada, San Jose State, Wyoming, and Oregon State the rest of the year. So they're doing their best to not fuck up the rest of the year. You have everything in front of you. Now you get this weird offense with a couple mobile quarterbacks who's going to run the shit out of the ball against a run defense that I think is pretty overrated. I think this game is going to be a lot closer than people think. This feels like one where the Hawaii game, I know they ended up pushing that game, but Boise State never really felt like they were pulling away in that one until the very, very end. And I'll be honest too, like Boise really hasn't really impressed me too much lately because I know they haven't really been all that explosive. It seems like it's kind of dying off. Genty hasn't been as electric in these games, and I feel like when you're going against a team that's going to run the shit out of the ball, I think this game will be close for a little bit.
He's banged up too. I mean, he's just not looked nearly as dominant as he did the first half of the year.
Yeah, and I think part of that's some of the teams he's facing. He's facing some better competition, minus the fact they played Oregon in the beginning of the season. He's played some pretty shit run defenses in between then and now, but I think Boise's wearing off a little bit. And Brendan Lewis, I think, is going to be the starter for Nevada. Who knows? They bring out a different guy every fucking week, but he's going to have his way on the ground. I'm waiting to see if they're going to put up some Brendan Lewis squares maybe. Don't see any yet, but it's a weird offense to face when you're trying not to fuck up for the playoff. So give me Nevada plus the points.
Let's go.
Upset alerts, favorite dogs. Let's go to the meat, Rav.
God, if they upset 24-point favorites, is that your biggest upset call of the year?
Yeah, if they upset them, goat it.
Yeah.
They have said I'm goated.
Goated.
They ain't gonna win.
But if
But
they don't, yeah.
no, if they don't, I'm not
But
goated.
if they cover, sure.
My prediction, they lose by 14.
That's a comfortable cover.
Comfortable cover. That's what we need. Give me some meat, Goots. No way you're going meat on Bama.
Yep.
What the Rav? Sell me on that one.
It is so telling to me, chat, that they are catching 2.5 points in this game. It really is. They've been horrible on the road. They lost to Vandy, 0-3 on the road in the SEC. I think it's correct, right? No, 0-3 total. 0-2.
Say it again.
They've been horrible on the road. That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
And Bama, DeBoer, everyone's been so down on DeBoer on Bama. And I think that Brian Kelly is just not going to get up for this game. I think that their run defense is going to get exploited by Milroe. You have seen LSU been gashed by running quarterbacks. You think of I literally said this on the coin toss. You think of Marcel Reed in the second half against Texas A&M. You think of Lenore Sellers in that entire game they should have won at home against LSU. Now LSU's at home playing Bama in need of a win. Bama is still good enough to get into the playoff. And they are, at this point, still a more talented team, a better team than LSU. I think it's so telling that they're favored despite all the road inconsistencies. So my meat on tape play is Bama. And we'll be seeing because I think that is one of my favorite plays of the week.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's crazy that they're laying 2.5, 3. And Brian Kelly already got his big home win of the year. I guess you could kind of argue too, but he got his big win of the year, and I think now he comes back, especially after a bye week when he has so much to fix, which granted Alabama kind of does too. It feels like the who's going to be worse game, and I definitely think that's LSU. I feel like if we're banking on coaching here and making some adjustments, I trust Kalen DeBoer over Brian Kelly 99 times out of 100.
I just think DeBoer's been getting disrespected too. I mean, he's a phenomenal coach, and they're giving him like the Saban standards year one, which it's understandable, but you can't be doing that. I still think he's a good coach. I still think he can figure out the LSU defense with a running quarterback like Milroe. He made Milroe look so good the first half of the season. Obviously, he's not been great the last few weeks, but I think that he can get it done in Death Valley, as crazy as it sounds. And I mean, they're favored for a reason.
Would you say the only way LSU can win this game is if Nessmeyer outplays Milroe?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Their defense, both defenses aren't great.
I think I
like the over too.
I think there's a way that doesn't have to be the case. If Milroe keeps playing like Jalen Milroe's been playing, it just might be I don't even think Nussmeier has to outperform him. I honestly think the way for LSU to win this game is to make Milroe beat himself, which I don't think is going to happen.
I hate fading the Paul Skeens, though.
Yeah, I was about to say you're fading the Paul Skeens, Livy Dunn narrative, dude.
As much as I hate Brian Kelly, I could really see this being the game he gets through, though. I don't know why, but it's just a feeling in my gut.
Goots POD potentials?
No.
It also does scare me. SEC underdogs have been paying.
But before we get to PP,
I still got meat.
Oh, yeah, you still got
meat.
After meat, I'll do that.
Yeah, let me hear that. But meat, Boston College Eagles are winning a football game this Saturday. Starting the meat off early. I feel like that usually goes pretty well when I have an early meat on tape play. But they get to play Syracuse this week. So I'm getting revenge for Krabs because Syracuse, miracle win last week. They had no business winning that game. They also got blessed with the fact that Kyron Jones and Bashal Tootin were not playing in that game. They still went down by multiple touchdowns early and had to come back, claw back, and everything. But then they won in overtime. Then, they got blessed, and now they got to go on the road against BC, which, again, I've talked a lot about fading teams off a bye week because I think more than anything it hurts with rust, and I've kind of been pretty successful doing that. With teams that I think need the bye week, my strategy changes. Boston College was kind of reeling going into the bye week. They lost 3 in a row. I know they've been really disappointing, especially in the second half of games. Thomas Castellanos has been banged up. He needed the bye week for health purposes as well. Comes back into this game a lot more healthy. He's feeling great, he says. So now, not only do they have to make adjustments with his health, but he also, they've been trying to make him a pocket quarterback. It doesn't work. So, Bill O'Brien has been talking about making that adjustment over the bye week, and now that he's healthier, he has a lot more chance to do that. And the Syracuse team is also, I think, very fraudulent, and when they have faced running quarterbacks, they've gotten gashed by them. Boston College gashed them last year with Thomas Castellanos as well. So feel like his legs are going to be a big part of this one. So there's a reason why Boston College is favored in this game, which is also very odd. They're hanging -2 at home for God knows what reason. It's because they're going to win this game. So they needed the bye week probably more than anybody. They got it. Now they get a big win, letdown spot for Syracuse in Boston.
Dude, BOB is going to make McCord look like he looked against Pitt.
People forget because every time Syracuse, for the most part, has gone on the road, hasn't been all that pretty.
They did beat UNLV on the road, but that was it.
Yeah, it's also in Vegas, though. I don't really count that. Like, they looked pretty bad against NC State. That's a game they won. But, like, that was, I think, the first game with the backup for NC State, and they only won by a touchdown. Another game they had no business winning. And then they got shelled by Pitt. Like, those are their only 3 road games this year. UNLV, NC State, and Pitt.
Wow.
Those all came 3 games in a row.
And we're in week 11. That's actually pretty nuts.
We're in week 11. So have fun. I'm not going to act like Boston College is Death Valley, but it's a weird game early against a team that's been waiting on you to come there.
Didn't you know I love that play?
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to be riding it. That actually might be the first leg.
Love that. Goots, do you have a potential nug?
Not a nug. We're gonna start doing this. Based off the previews, I'm gonna build a 3-team parlay.
Wow.
Based off the best sell jobs I heard.
Wow, you're in your bag right now.
In my bag. This is on Trent's notepad from Surge yesterday, and he has Idaho spelled with an E on the end, which is crazy.
Bro. With an E?
Trent.
Idaho-y. All right, but the parlay.
Dude.
It's the I'm not. It's just what I had handy to write down, but it's going to be the over in GT, Ravs over, the Miami, Georgia Tech over.
There we go.
Nevada plus 24.5, and Boston College money line.
Wow,
that's the
that's
3-teamer
really smacking. That's
from the
literally
preview.
smacking.
that could be so surge.
That could be Surge.
That's literally smacking.
I'll do
Love
it for
that
NFL
Goots.
as well.
Love that from Goots.
The
Well,
BTL 3-piece.
love that. Let's get some PP squares, dude. I'm so in on Goots for that. So in on Goots. So out on Rav.
It was pass plus rush for Milrow.
Well, it's fine. That's fine. Pass plus rush. Give your sell jobs.
Yeah, like I said, I think DeBoer and Jalen Milrow gets it right in Death Valley. And again, once again, fading a defense that has not been good against dual threat quarterbacks. Taking the quarterback that is favored on the road. I think that he can get it done. I think he can easily get to 230 pass plus rush yards. And Pavia less than rush yards. South Carolina is going to eat him alive. And as much as Jovan does not like to hear that, I do not think he gets to 43 rushing yards. He is a running quarterback, but that defensive line is fucking gross. In fact, they're one of the better defenses in the country, and I don't think they're getting enough love. I don't think even people know that they're one of the best defenses in the country. So I am going to fade Pavia, and I think that they, unfortunately, do not win again this week. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Huge. Pavia shit square potentials, but you could get some sacks. That would help.
Yeah.
I got 2 squares for you, Raph. One I had to get in my bag. Saw the square on the board. Screams one of the squares I would take. Looked into it. I'm in. LJ Martin, 3.5 receiving yards. Crazy square to be up.
Yeah.
He's only got 5 catches on the season for 55 yards, and 3 for 46 came in a single game against Arizona. He's been not completely healthy the rest of the season, so like he hasn't had the chance to put up many of these numbers, but I mean, he had 1 catch for 2 yards in their last game against UCF. Nothing the game before that, and then right before that was the game against Arizona where he had 3 for 46. So he's not really a part of the receiving game nearly at all. They do have a couple running backs that they rotate in there, so that's also a little bit of the reason why. But I've noticed this with Utah because TCU, I don't know how familiar you are, Rav, or are with the offense. They don't even think about a check down in that game or in that offense ever. Utah came in with that defense. Hoover checked down every single chance he could get. They play really good coverage in the back end. They try to keep everything in front of them. They don't play with their DBs close to the line of scrimmage. So it's a schematic thing. They want to allow the check down as much as you'll take it. Retzlaff is going to take it, especially I do think regardless of how the game goes, I don't want to fade BYU, but I definitely think the game could be close and low scoring. Retzlaff has been really good at taking what the defense gives him. The thing is, a lot of that's happened to be down the field, which is why they've been so good and so explosive. Against Utah, I don't think that's going to be the case. So, reason why
he's getting in his ear from his coach to just not be as dangerous with the ball this week, or just in general? I mean, he's been.
Maybe.
He's.
I mean,
he's
when you go against Utah, it kind of like you can figure that out on your own.
Yeah,
It's
right.
like their
then
secondary's good.
love that square then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a weird square. I think it's one of the first times I've seen it up, but it's a weird square to be up. So that's my running back receiving yard weird square of the week. Then I'll square out for probably one of the squares to ever exist. Shedeur Sanders is going to throw for 450 this week against Texas Tech. And
I love this. I love hearing this.
Has to be done, unfortunately. I do think Colorado is going to do whatever they want in that game. Sneakily, too, like Texas Tech's run defense hasn't been bad. Not nearly as bad as you would think when the defense as a whole is that bad. The secondary is fucking terrible, dude. Like I remember that I've seen a couple performances, like Rocco Becht had 300 yards against them last week of all people, and that was in a game script where, yes, they were trailing for most of the game, but Iowa State really struggled to get anything going unless they were throwing the ball deep down the field. Sorsby had literally nobody on his team and threw for 400 plus yards. Like this secondary is so bad. Travis Hunter is going to do whatever he wants on the outside. Like LeJounte Wester is going to do literally whatever he wants. I struggle to find a world where Texas Tech's defense makes life tough on Shedeur. And that is me of all people speaking, who wants to find every single reason why they're going to struggle in this game. I don't see it. So unfortunately, I don't have the jersey, and I will not have it until mid next week, apparently. But I'll put it on, especially if he gets 329 for me. I think he does.
Krabs would be having a fit if he was on today.
2 Buffs appearances.
Yeah.
He would be. This is not Krabs' ball, dude. Not Krabs' ball.
Do you think he would think that Colorado is sharp? I feel like he would.
He probably would, because Texas Tech, I mean, they're coming off of a road upset of Iowa State, and they're now 4-point underdogs.
I
would never
guarantee he would think that was sharp.
Yeah. This is probably one of the rare times you'd probably catch Krabs back in Colorado, or at least not fading them.
Interesting. Okay, well, I am replacing Krabs today, so.
Yeah. So, I mean,
go.
You're on there talking about it. Bust down an AP. Got any honorable mentions, Rav, before we wrap up here?
Squares or just plays?
Anything you got?
I think Duke upsets NC State. I kind of talked about that a little bit.
Sure.
Let me get to the score real quick. I think Oregon can cover a big number against Maryland.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Of course, Coots is in on that, man.
I don't know if I have any others. Obviously, Tennessee first half spread.
Penn State.
Yeah. Well, watch the coin toss. I usually give, when I'm on here, I give my second most favorite play. Favorite play, coin toss, 7-3. We'll be fucking seeing.
W gatekeeping.
Yeah. You need to fucking watch that.
Rav, can we get the Notre Dame report? Or Goots, can we get the Notre Dame report?
I mean, we're playing rat shit FSU, so what do you want me to say?
I don't know, dude. I kind of want to take that over. I mean, it's obviously
Riley's legs.
Disgusting over. I don't even think it's Riley's legs. I think it's just everything. I feel like Notre Dame needs a foot on neck performance because, I mean, that's going to be their MO through the rest of the season. I think this is one of them. I also think FSU honestly might score some of this game.
Okay.
Which is odd. It doesn't make that much sense. You know, FSU hasn't scored 20 points yet this year.
No.
I don't know if this is the time.
Because they're ass cheeks McGee.
I think they can give you 7.
I mean, it is somewhat a rivalry game.
A little bit.
Yeah.
It does have those types of implications that you could add onto it. 26-point spread, 42.5 total. Yeah, I mean, you're going to need some FSU points to hit that over.
I need it. I think we get like a 34-17 type game.
Yeah.
I think Notre Dame munches.
I like that. Do you think that Oklahoma, Missouri still goes over?
Yeah. Those are my 2 gross overs of the week. Probably goes 1-1. But
who do you think wins that?
I mean, I'd have really a hard time betting on Drew Pine. I think anybody would. He's god awful.
Me too.
I know, like Oklahoma, their offense has not been good, but at least it gives you a little more hope with Jackson Arnold back there than fucking Drew Pine. And the Missouri defense really doesn't scare anybody. It's like maybe it looks easy. I don't really know, but somehow, some way between both of those games, there's one of those games going to soar over by like the third quarter.
Can we quickly talk about Late Night Island?
Evan Easy boots on ground ND game.
Wow.
Over might be free.
Hot chocolate. Late Night Island. I like Hawaii.
Okay.
I like Hawaii.
It's hard not to like Hawaii on the island.
Yeah. I've picked my spots, though, with Hawaii and the island. I've taken it twice this year. I don't know how many games they played on the island, but I took them against UCLA. They almost won, and then they took them Boise State game, which ended up pushing. But they were in that game, had no business pushing. They should have hit with ease. The run defense is actually kind of good. Kind of good. It's like UNLV. I know they got to contain Haj Malik Williams and his legs is a whole different aspect of the game, but I think they do. It's like it's going to make UNLV throw the ball. Not they can't do it. It's just a super weird spot, especially on the island. I don't know. Last time you get a UNLV total of 51 too, dude.
Yeah. Anyone going to Hawaii is like ultimate travel narrative. I'm frothing at the mouth.
Frothing at the mouth. This is why I'm out on rap.
So I'm definitely going to be loading up Hawaii late night Saturday.
Yeah.
I'll be milkman, Javon. You know a little thing or two about frothing.
Yeah, I guess I do. People sleep. Rav has a personal frother in this house.
I do. It's actually an insane frother.
Insane frother. Unbelievable. All right. Well, that's our college football. Appreciate you for coming on, Rav.
Chat. Thank you. Javon, thank you.
Of course. Now we're transitioning to getting Trent, so you know if he's fucking dialed.
Let's have a nice weekend, dude.
Yeah,
let's get nice.
Can we get nice for fuck's sake, man?
Nice. I'm gonna hit a get nice this weekend.
Yeah, I fucking bet, dude. Force us get nice. Let's run the transition. Saquon. Oh, people sleep. You have the potential to see the Goatwell cash in person, or Goatwell Square cash in person. I think you already saw one last night.
I went to Starbucks. I thought I would see Saquon this morning. Didn't see him.
You got to go Saturday mornings, I guess, is when they all get there. And I guess they have practices, the road teams do. At
Dude, can we do that? Facilities. Can we do that tomorrow?
I might have to scope tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might have to scope.
Who did you see fucking Tolbert last weekend?
Jalen Tolbert, and he found his way in the end zone somehow, some way.
Chat, I feel hungover. I didn't have a sip of alcohol last night. I don't know how that fucker does it every single stream, dude.
Unbelievable.
What a game. That game felt like a dream last night, especially with the Jamar 3 touchdowns. He looked like Megatron out there. Actually.
Literally Megatron, dude.
He actually looked like Megatron.
That was wild. Game of year, dude.
Another cover though. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, people need to start talking about your primetime here.
Yeah, it's insane.
Literally insane.
It's actually insane.
Maybe it carries over to Surge 6 this week.
Yeah, it's crazy how I've only hit one, considering how dialed in I've been in the NFL. But this week, after a week full of chalk, it's coming back with some fluke shit. They're reeling it back in at the books. It's gonna be really tough for NFL this week.
You better be locked. I'm resuming my tailing status.
Wow, let's go
this week.
Love to hear that.
But tell me about this under. Kick it off for us.
Yeah, it's one of those plays that I just feel it in my plums. It's gonna be a low-scoring game. Thought it was a really low total considering how many points the Titans let up last week. But I just think that the Chargers are going to find a way to take care of business in a low-scoring affair. Their defense is pretty strapped, but I think the Titans' D is actually going to strap up and be the reason why this game soars under. After getting clapped they won last week. The defense looked great last week against the Patriots, and I expect them to do the same against the Chargers, and I think the Chargers win this game on the ground by book of chewing. I just think it's going to be a gross one. It's one of the lowest totals on the board for the entire week. And I love the Chargers to win this game, but I think that the Titans are going to be able to keep it close within 7 points. I think this is going to be a weird game, but I think we make it out of 0-0 first quarter, which sets the tempo and pace for the rest of the game and keeps it below 40.
Wow.
That'd be even better.
Yeah, that could be worse because that could be 6 going the other way.
It could be 6 the other way for sure.
But I was not expecting a leadoff dialed in under sell drop from you. I'm actually kind of impressed.
I wouldn't say it's Eagles Saints territory in terms of meat on tape,
right?
But I'm confident in it.
Yeah, I can respect that. I can respect that a lot. I'm in on that. I will be taking the Steelers Commanders under. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be I wouldn't say it's going to be a game that's incredibly similar or as low scoring as the Bears game, but I feel like it's kind of similar. You're getting I guess the Steelers are a little different, a different aspect to it. Their offense is probably at one of the highest points you're ever going to see a Steelers offense at. And they're going to be facing a Commanders defense that, as of the last couple of weeks, has played really inspired ball, really improved ball from what we thought they were at the start of the season. So now I want to start fading, especially because I do think the Commanders are going to win this game. You like that little rookie quarterback stat with the Bears and the Commanders fit. I think the Commanders honestly win this game with their defense. I think Mike Tomlin against a rookie quarterback kind of speaks for itself on the other side. It's going to be a challenge for Jaden Daniels, while I still think he's going to move the ball, and his legs obviously add a little dynamic factor to it, even though he's still a little banged up. I feel like this is going to be a field goal fest in this game, and maybe there's a little more scoring than the Bears-Commanders game was, or Bears-Commanders game had, but I feel like the defenses are going to dominate this game early, and you're really going to need both of these offenses to perform at their peak to get over this, which I don't think is going to happen. I think this is going to be a defensive game, chess match, I guess, from both sides, especially for Tomlin against that Commanders offense. So I am very much in on some unders.
You think the Commanders win that game?
I do. I do think it's kind of crazy. We're getting, I mean, you can take, everybody loves taking Tomlin against a rookie quarterback. You can get 3 points.
Yeah.
And the Commanders aren't, like, they get disrespected on the spread every week. And now you're seeing them get a little bit of respect against the Steelers.
I just like, the Commanders being 8-2 in the Big 2-4 is crazy.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
8-2, bro.
You're not wrong.
Would be nuts.
Would be nuts. Crabs would be.
That's one of the few home favorites that I'm able to choose from on this entire slate.
You're not wrong.
So I might have to put that in consideration.
Let's go. Let's talk about some overs, Goots.
Some Mikey overs.
If the Steelers were playing the fucking Chiefs, Reeve Trees would say, "Oh, the Chiefs are overperforming. The Steelers are winning."
Chat. There is a surge when this is done.
Yes.
Mikey overs. Oh yes. I like the over in the Niners-Bucks game. I like it much less after hearing Jovan tell me that Bucks games have gone over for 7 weeks in a row. But before I knew that nugget, I thought that it was interesting. Brock Purdy, of all people, has the highest pass yards line this week out of every quarterback. And I feel like the Bucks are going to weirdly keep this game close at home. It's pretty, not really a short spread, but 6.5. Thought it'd be a little bit bigger than that, at least like 8.5. But if the Bucs are going to be able to keep up pace by scoring points against this Niners defense, the Niners are going to have to match it. They're going to have to match it. And I weirdly think the Bucs could fuck around and win this game. And if they're going to do that, it's not going to be because their defense is strapping up. It's going to be because there's a lot of points. So CMC's returning too.
Yeah.
So we could hopefully see 2+ TDs from him a year late. But I see there being a lot of points in this game, and I love the over 50.5, but I don't love it nearly as much knowing that 7 weeks in a row they've gone over.
Yeah, you know, the last time a Bucs game went under is when they lost to the Broncos in week 3.
That's insane, dude.
Insane. So, I mean, I'm never going to tell you no to a Bucs over because the defense is fucking terrible and shorthanded, and the offense, honestly, has been perfectly fine, even though they're missing Godwin and Evans. So, can't say anything against it. I like the over in Falcons-Saints game. I don't love taking divisional overs, I guess, at this point in the season, but the Saints are such a weird team because, I mean, obviously they've kind of given up on the season. You know, there's personnel-wise, really interesting situation because you're playing with a bunch of young receivers. Kamara's in a weird spot. Derek Carr's in a weird spot. The defense is fucking terrible. They just traded away Marshawn Lattimore, so now really the only core guys there on the defensive line, at least the ones of impact, you could say. So that secondary, I think, is going to get absolutely torched by the Falcons in this game. So the Falcons have been putting up points for a couple weeks now. Granted, a lot of those have come against the Bucs, who just give up points to everybody. I think they dominate the Saints defense in this game, but weirdly, I do think the Saints defense, after all this talk, after the trade, they're going to do something against the Falcons defense in this game. This feels like the game where after 7 straight weeks of zero pulse whatsoever, part of that being because Spencer Rattler and Jake Haener were the quarterbacks, this feels like the spot where the Saints open this up with a couple bombs early. And I know they're pretty shorthanded. It's not like you have the regular cast of Olave and Shaheed, but I think Derek Carr shows you a little something early in this game, and the Falcons are going to be forced to claw back, and then they eventually carry throughout this game. It's also hard with a little narrative fired coach narratives to not buy into the Saints somewhat in this game, I have to do it. Have to do it. So the offense is going to keep them in it.
I fucking love that over. Just looking at it.
Yeah.
Screams over.
This could be it.
Yeah, it's almost Christmas Kamara time. That's usually when he finds the end zone. Hopefully Bijan can get us a 5th game in a row, 100+.
Yeah.
Stay in pulse.
That would be magical.
But hopefully the Saints don't take an early lead, forcing Kirk to have to throw the rock.
Probably will. I mean, we got fucking maybe Rav will put the Falcons in the get nice and fade a coach fired narrative again. And then they'll be the greatest offense of all time to start the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could be the difference. Let's talk about some favorites.
Some favorites.
Here's
Totally
some
forgot
Goots.
what I had here. Oh, yeah, of course. Goots on fucking ground.
Goots on ground with Saquon Goat Whales, huh?
Yeah. I'd be lying if I said my initial thoughts on this game were not the opposite of this. Because I literally texted Jovan weirdly way earlier this week saying the Cowboys are so beating the Eagles this Sunday, aren't they? After Sirianni pulled the dumbest shit I've seen by a head coach in a while, trying to go for 2 up 20 points, and then ultimately having that come to fuck him over and let the Jags back in that game for no reason and almost choked it. Initially, I thought that the Cowboys were going to keep this game close, fuck around, maybe even win outright, but I really can't buy into that. I'm going to this game on Sunday. I will be nuking the Eagles. I think they get it done. The Cowboys are just in shambles right now. They got Cooper Rush starting at quarterback, bro. Everybody's bought out of this season. They're unmotivated. I think that this is just a square up. Don't overthink it. Eagles take care of business when they need to. And you know Sirianni's going to not let off the gas pedal in Dallas, just like what's his name did on the Lions.
Dan Campbell.
Yeah. Yeah. And they fucking suck. Cowboys are terrible, bro.
They're god-awful.
They're really fucking bad. If they are doing the right thing, they should be losing every game moving forward.
They should be. They should be. Well, this favorite segment is pretty much the cap tip segment because
Yeah.
you're cap tipping Cooper Rush. I'm cap tipping Mac Jones because he's starting for the Jags this week.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Trevor Lawrence hurt.
Oh.
Yeah. So if Mac Jones keeps this game competitive, it is in Jacksonville, so you got the Vikings going on the road. If he keeps it competitive against this Brian Flores defense that has been killing quarterbacks everywhere, especially when you have a banged up and bad offensive line, you have, granted, like Tank Bigsby's been better, but like Travis Etienne has been terrible. So like the run game is bad and inconsistent. You're dealing with injuries in the wide receiver room. There's no Kirk. You still got a banged up Brian Thomas. I will tip cap to that. I will tip cap because I think Brian Flores is going to have Mac Jones in hell. As much as I kind of want to buy into the resurgence, and maybe I will if he starts against some worse teams later down the line in the season, if T-Law stays injured, I can't do it against Brian Flores. So I will tip cap if Mac Jones keeps it close. Give me the Vikes -7.
Wow, these might have to be 2 cap tippers for the Surge 6.
Yeah, you're only limited to 2.
Yep. These
2.
are both of them. If Cooper Rush wins, do one of those.
Yep.
And if Mac Jones fucking wins outright, you do another one of those.
It's the way we hit a surge.
Yeah.
2 cap tips.
Trent, I want a really good sell job on this next play because I really like it. And I want to hear
What's the play?
you'll
Your
see it.
dogs.
We're ready to move.
Let's go to the dogs.
I really like it.
Ooh. Ooh. I love it. The Broncos +8 against the Chiefs. We know that Mahomes, anytime he's above an 8-point favorite, finds a way to not win by more than 8. It's actually insane. It happened in the last primetime game against the Bucks. Yep, against the Bucks on Monday night. But weirdly, even though the Broncos got bitched last week against who they play? They got bitched, didn't they?
The Ravens.
Yeah, they gave up 41 points. I'm still not out on this defense. I think that giving up 41 points, they're going to come back with a vengeance this week in a divisional game against Mahomes in Arrowhead, which is a bit scary. But I don't know, man. Mahomes always finds a way to keep these games close. And Bo Nix is actually fucking him, low-key. He looked great last week. I know he only put up 14, but he was making some really good plays. And there was ever a time for him to show the fuck up. it would be against Mahomes and Burrowhead. So give me the Broncos +8. It's scary. It's gross. But I love the play. And again, if there's any team that's more due for some rat shit product, it's the Kansas City Chiefs. So
surprised you're going back to the well, dude.
Got to go back to the well, dude. Even though it's back-to-back, it's just the system. I swear I've been doing it for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the last time it's let me down. So give me the Broncos to find a way to keep it within a touchdown.
I can respect that. Apparently it's a Goots favorite.
And when do the Chiefs ever blow teams out?
Yeah,
I feel like they
all that
don't.
often.
I mean, if you're going to give me this spread in an AFC West matchup, I'm going to take it.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it.
And especially against bad teams, I feel like they don't blow them out.
Yeah, but the Broncos aren't bad.
No.
They're in a playoff spot.
Yeah.
And as much as I was happy the Ravens scored 41 points in that defense, I'm still a big fan of it. And I think this could be a game they show out, especially after that game.
Yeah.
So
if someone's beating the Chiefs, it's one of the 3 teams in their division.
It's the Broncos or the Raiders or the Chargers. Yeah. All 3 of them. You're right.
Yeah.
So I just got to stay true to the system that's treating me so well.
I'm with it.
Stay true to it, man. Go with the Colts. After they just got, granted, the game was close because the Vikings were also bad. Colts defense was actually a little better than I think a lot of people expected in that game. Flacco embarrassed himself on primetime. And I really, as much as I would like to say that's attributed to Flacco, it's not. Brian Flores and that scheme is just that good. So they had him in hell. The run game couldn't get anything going. Jonathan Taylor couldn't do shit. Flacco looked like 50-year-old Joe Flacco, frankly. Well, exactly what he should look like.
Yeah.
So everybody saw that. Now they're going to play the Bills, who have been sneakily rolling, especially in these, lower total or lower spread games recently. They went on the road and destroyed the Seahawks in that game. That's the one that comes to mind, I guess, first. But they've been kind of dominating these last couple games, at least spread-wise. Now I think it's a weird spot because, again, everybody just saw the Colts get embarrassed. And now you got these games where the Colts are going to come back in with no Michael Pittman now. He just got ruled out, which I think Josh Downs is the better fit for that offense anyway. And now you're going to have a situation kind of like I mentioned with Devon A-Chain when Tua came back. It's not the same because it's not like a systematic thing because realistically AR, when he's in there, that opens everything up for Jonathan Taylor. But now you get a situation where Jonathan Taylor gets to face a really bad run defense in the Bills. It's the one kind of big flaw of their team. So now the shoulder's not going to be, the shoulder load's not all going to be on Joe Flacco, which I think is the most important thing in this game. So the Colts at home, I think they steal one. You want to know an added narrative for this too? You know who the Bills got on deck?
Who do they have on deck?
Their Booper Bowl. They're hosting the Chiefs in Kansas City.
Wow.
So if there's ever a look-ahead spot, I feel like you can't really say that too much for any NFL teams because it's not like college where one game can completely wreck your season. For the Bills, that is their Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
That is their Super Bowl. So I think they struggle kind of looking ahead to that game, especially when you have a Colts team that didn't really impress everybody. You don't know what this offense is right now with Flacco. I feel like something's going to change. And I feel like this, kind of like I had the same feeling with the Texans in that Colts game where I took them +5. This is the game where you lean on big Jonathan Taylor runs and you just need a splash play or two to contend, which that game with AR, I think Flacco can do the exact same. So before they host the Chiefs, they might slip up against the Colts.
Wow. Yeah, I want nothing to do with the Bills here, man. Nothing. I already got my lick with fading Flacco in primetime, and I was scared enough to do that. No way I'm doing it again, bro. No way.
Yeah.
And Bills have been in, I think, every Search 6 this year. So,
rightfully so.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. Let's talk about the meat.
Oh, yeah. This one's interesting.
Wow. You want the Texans?
Meat.
Wow.
I wish I waited 1 week to place my 2 Raccoon futures play. As the primetime GOAT, it's the Texans on Sunday Night Football, chat. It is the Texans winning outright, actually. But they will find a way to cover, if not win this game. And I'm so confident in it, dude. Somebody has got to slow down the Lions. No one's been able to do it or come close for the last 2 months. And honestly, Goff. Somebody fucking give him a reason to throw the ball, man. Please, dude. Please. I'm dialed, though. I don't really have much of a sell job as to why I think the Texans are winning for football reasons. More so, it's a plums play. It is a plums play. I woke up this morning, looked at the slate because Goots asked me for the plays, saw that this was the Sunday night game, and my gut instantly told me it's the Texans. Instantly. I just knew.
That.
I knew. So I don't have any football reasons like Jovan does with his Nuggets, but I'm telling you, Chad, I feel it in the plums. I feel it.
Yeah, it's the primetime goat. You might not need football reasoning.
Yeah.
People sleep. I mean,
feel
you
it.
didn't have the fucking football reason in the world for
Bengals.
Baker +9.
All right. Yeah. They were literally, I had no idea how they were going to do it. They were going to find a way. I knew they would.
I guess your reason could be you need Goff to throw.
It honestly, Kish, it is.
Unbelievable.
But
dude.
my eyes landed on that game, and I immediately got excited because I know that the Lions are going to face adversity in this game. I know it. I fucking smell it. So that's that. Let me hear the Jets. I love the Jets.
Yeah, the Jets are a short road favorite against the Cardinals, which A, I think is pretty insane. But B, the Cardinals have been sneakily getting away with it for a couple weeks now, and they've been against some pretty good defenses. Like the Dolphins is kind of sandwiched in there. They went to Miami and got a win, which was pretty impressive. But they played the Chargers and won that game on Monday night. That was a terrible game, one of the ugliest games of the season. Everybody, I guess, didn't need to see that because the Bucs game was also on during that time, but kind of squeaked through on ESPN Plus that those defenses were having a fucking rock fight. They won that game on the walk-off field goal at home, similar type game, where I believe they were short dogs or short favorites, one of the two. The spread was 1. And then they just demolished the Bears. The Bears are fucking terrible, but the defense took a little bit to open up. James Conner had a field day. Kyler Murray really didn't do shit. Now you get to face the Jets team that I think is going to start to get hot throughout this second half of the season, to where at the very least they make a playoff push. I don't know if they're going to end up getting there, but I feel like they're going to get on a run these couple games. There's a reason why they're favorites on the road here. I think this Jets defense locks in, and I know they've been decently lackluster throughout this little stretch. Like, they were really good against the Texans, but otherwise, like, they've been getting gashed in the run game. That's been one of the big problems for them. So you would think that James Conner is going to do it. I really don't think that's the case, and they've been pretty stout against running quarterbacks. Like, I think Kyler's going to be forced into the pocket a lot, which is against those two good defenses, I guess the Bears and the Chargers on the primetime game. That's where he had his hardest time, when he was forced to be in the pocket and wasn't allowed to get outside and scramble. They didn't stick to that the whole game, which kind of led to their demise. I think the Chargers or the Jets are going to do just that in this game. So I think the Cardinals run ends here.
Yeah, I think this is going to be my last week testing the Cardinals. I'm not ready to buy in on them thinking that they're good. But if they fucking win this game, dude, they're officially a good football team. Can we agree on that?
I could buy in if they win this game.
If they win this game, they're a good program.
They're a decent program. They'd be what, 6-4?
Yeah, but it's a system. Sold the Surge last week after beating the Bears.
People forget that. That is a system play too.
Yeah, so
team that sold the Surge penciled in for a loss this week. Of course, love that. Let's talk about some PP squares, Goods.
I have the parlay though.
Oh wait, you have your parlay.
I need to ask chat.
That's right.
I have, for now, the last leg I'm going to ask chat, but I have the over in the New Orleans game, the Broncos +8.
Hopefully green.
And then the last two, it's either the Jets or the Vikings. I can't
just
decide.
all Javon's Wales.
Chat.
GG Cam.
And GG Cam.
GG Trent.
I'll
Cam.
get that.
So all Javon's plays.
No, Broncos
No,
in there.
It's
a three-piece, so two of them have to be one person.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go with the Jets. It's the Jets.
You got to go Jets.
Might be Jets.
So it's the over in New Orleans, Broncos +8, Jets ML. That's the BTL NFL preview.
The Goots get nice.
Three-piece.
Goots get nice.
No. We're not taking that phrase now.
Unbelievable.
That's a rat shit
switch to the PP squares while you fix the cam, so we can talk about those. Holy go!
All right. Listen, chat.
Oh my god!
I know it looks lazy. It looks lazy. It might be, but Goots on ground for Saquon. Are you fucking kidding me? How do you not expect me to nuke it? With a chance to turn green, he needs 85 yards. 85 yards in Dallas on the ground. It's going to be a fucking blowout. They're going to be Book of Chewing with Saquon. Cowboys defense is absolute rat piss. Saquon's goated. I don't know how they're going to stop him. You can chirp me all you want. I don't know what else you want me to say, bro. It's fucking Saquon against a horrific Cowboys defense.
You know,
horrible.
As much as I would love to say it's super lazy, because it probably is. I mean, those plays are hitting.
It's both of them are hitting, bro. And you got Jared Goff, who you know is going to be facing adversity on primetime. Hopefully, we don't get any special teams bullshit. Is there an award for best special teams? Because give it to the Lions. Give it to them, dude. Jared Goff hasn't had to lift a fucking finger all year. And we're getting him on primetime. All the eyeballs are going to be on me in this primetime game because of Jared Goff. And we're getting 300. I feel it. Bear with us, chat. Goots is doing his job.
Goots is locked.
Goots is doing his job.
There we go.
But Jared Goff's going over. I had it in my Run Your Game Corp POD on the Prize Picks app last week, and it soared the fuck under for the third week in a row. This is green. I'm telling you it's green. The Texans are going to find a way to go up early with, I think, a opening game drive. And it's going to put Goff in an early situation to have to throw the ball. So love these two goat whale squares. But Saquon, boots on ground, I will be there in this exact jersey I'm wearing, splooging.
I can respect that.
With both Lions running backs at -180 anytime touchdown, we're on his passing yards. Shut the fuck up, Car God. That doesn't even correlate.
Yeah, that literally does not matter in the slightest. But I'm with you. They're hitting. I might tell that.
They are hitting, dude.
I'm going to tell that.
Do I not watch the Lions? What do you mean, Hammer Tank? I understand that they have two running back ones that could start on any organization in this league. I know that. You don't think I watch every fucking game? Don't piss me off. Don't.
All right. Talk about my squares. I'm on the Colts this week. Obviously, they're playing the Bills. If you want to play the Bills, I'm not taking this game because I think Joe Flacco is going to have a masterclass, even though I do think he can have a pretty good game, definitely more improved or a little improved than we saw against the Vikings in prime time. You attack the Bills with Jonathan Taylor in the backfield. You attack him through the run game. You attack him really with Jonathan Taylor everything, which is why I included the rush and receiving. I think he's going to be a big factor in everything, especially with no Michael Pittman. I assume there's going to be a couple more designed screens. That's usually how it works out for the Colts, regardless of if it's AR or Joe Flacco. But this is the only way I think they stay in this game, and I think this is exactly how it's going to play out. This Bills run defense is going to get gashed. You're going to see the classic Jonathan Taylor long run to open the noon slate and splooge for all fantasy owners out there when it's one of the first touchdowns or first long runs you see on red zone, and that's going to be what opens the game for the Colts and what leads them to a cover and maybe a win. So give me Jonathan Taylor everything. Then my running back receiving yards for the NFL is Ramondre Stevenson. I sneakily think that I wanted to take the Bears in that game, and I do think there's a path for them to control that game, but the Bears against these – I don't know, somewhat like mobile quarterbacks and just overall systems where, like, if you're willing to dump the ball down or take everything in the short game, they will gladly let you. They've been letting that happen quite a bit. So, like, I think not only is Drake May going to be big time on his feet, I know he had a breakout game with his legs last week, so I didn't want to necessarily bet that to happen again, but he's going to dump the ball down quite a bit to Ramondre Stevenson. So, like, I think that's going to be a big part of this game. Obviously, the Bears defense is stout. The DB room has been fantastic. They've been getting gashed on the run game, I guess a little more than people would think, but it's kind of similar to my angle in college. Like, if you dump the ball down, they will let you dump the ball down and dink and dunk your way down the field. Drake May has shown the willingness to be able to do that. Obviously, Ramondre is a great weapon to have when you're doing that. This is how I think the Pats are going to dink and dunk their way down the field with this game. So give me Ramondre over his receiving yards. I think he's going to get a couple designed screens, probably pretty early in that game too. So give me the Pats to do something.
Fuck with it.
That could be the difference.
WRBs.
RBs. Do we have any honorable mentions for the NFL slate that you're looking at?
Honorable mentions.
Just any gut calls.
Gut calls.
Jets are up to -2.
Nope, GG.
No, it's good. They're -1. 1.5.
I don't. I don't. Are we going to wake up to a Panthers win?
I think we probably are.
Really?
We might get a little upset. Plus 6.5. I don't want to take it, but just you're buying pretty high. I do think Bryce Young is settling in now. If anybody's actually watched Bryce Young play in any of these games, and not just box score watch, he has made some throws that, frankly, I haven't seen him make since Bama. Like, he looks a lot more comfortable. If they weren't nearly as shorthanded as they were, I would be so all in. But I can't do it. That game, though, it's kind of crazy to me that total's at 40.5. I thought that's the classic game where you see 30s, which is pretty odd to me. So maybe we get a Bryce Young masterclass in Germany. I think the game's in.
Also, meet on tape Monday night Rams.
Rams.
Wow. McVay owns that bozo.
Holy fuck! They're only -1.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Weird spread. Meet on tape. They win that game.
Wow.
I promise you. You just have to trust the Rams sharp.
Wow. I mean,
everyone doubted when I was on Rams ML the other last week, 2 weeks ago. They were free as mall. Head coach matchup here is what's the narrative.
Yeah.
Head coach matchup. I'm not even looking at who's playing.
Yeah. I don't disagree because I really don't want to fade the Rams at all. I just don't know that I've seen an easier looking play, which kind of scares me. I'll probably join you, though. Once we get there, hopefully that line moves towards the Rams. I can feel a little better about it. But
yeah, that'd be great.
I'll trust Primetime Trent.
That'd be great.
Might be locked, dude.
Yeah, that's the platter for the rest of the primetime week.
Love the platter.
Texans, Rams.
Love the platter. All right. Get some squad ride action before we wrap up. Do you have any plays for today? Maybe you can help craft.
Rumors are swirling that you're saying Kansas ain't losing tonight.
Yes.
I'm nuking a $1,000 bozo.
Oh my
Fugazi.
God.
Yeah.
Here we go, dude.
So I'm looking for some candidates.
Here we go. I mean, yeah, it's definitely a candidate. I wouldn't say college basketball is the smartest route to go, and
that's
pretty
the
much
only.
any of it,
it's the only one I'm considering.
Yeah, if you're going to consider anyone, I would say it's that one.
Someone spamming Iowa 10U max. Have fun watching Garbers be Mahomes, brother. Have fun.
Can I please run that shit?
Run that shit, kids. All right, let's get the nominees up and moving. I guess I just kind of have to use my own plays. It's kind of weird.
Thoughts? I mean, I need are you bought into Ravs' Mavs play?
Kind of bought in.
I need confidence on that fucking play if I'm pulling trig on it.
I'm kind of bought in. Just feels wrong though because Ravs fading the Suns.
He's
fading the Suns and begging if he can go to the game. Dude.
Could be sharp. I faded the Thunder the last night, 2 nights ago.
Yeah, but you at least, I don't know. You I feel like you go on both sides of your team pretty often.
Yeah.
Rav only bets the Suns, only bets the Heat.
Yeah.
He really never bets against them.
And he's betting against both today.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about
that.
That feels bad.
That feels, yeah.
Super forced. That's really a 1-1 card. I'm telling you, the Mavs are the one that win.
The Mavs might win. The Heat are going to get one on the road.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
One of these two games.
I agree with you.
But I could be bought in on Mavs. Maybe if we put a Rav play in there, it's probably the Mavs. Let's put that in there. Let's go Kansas -7.5. Let's put that in there.
Yeah.
Then maybe that Cow Wake under. Do we have a potential Goots POD too?
No, exactly.
No Goots POD.
It is Kansas, so it's not really like it's my POD.
Okay.
It's Kansas.
Okay.
Chat.
Perfect. Goots POD collab.
OKC bounce back parlay piece. Feel free to add it.
I almost added their spread on the card.
Yeah.
I think they mucked.
They're muck and chow. They're muck and chowder tonight.
Honestly, let's get OKC -8.5.
Love it.
Load that one up.
Love it.
Mavs, Kansas, OKC.
Yes.
We have so far.
Then let's go Cow Wake under. Fourth piece.
54.5.
Yep.
You want to add another or just those 4?
Let's just roll with those 4.
Is Cal winning?
Yeah.
They're winning.
Yeah.
They're winning that game.
It's insane that they're touchdown favorites on the road.
It's a potential Fugazi spot.
All right, let's run it.
Could be a few guys.
2 minutes, chat.
Run poll. And yes, we know Cam is blurry. Relax. Taking OKC because you already took Kansas. Jeez.
And that.
There we go. Polls up, polls moving. Get your votes in. I really don't even know which way this poll is going to go.
Shar Clark, what the fuck was Gobert doing last night, brother?
Yeah, Gobert got to put fries in baggage.
Seriously.
Fries in baggage.
And fucking Zay Flowers. What was
Also
he up
fries
to?
in baggage.
Put the fries in the bag, Zay.
Rashad
Rudy, give me
Bateman
some
goated.
ketchup.
Extra salt.
Extra.
Extra salt.
Rudy, extra salt.
You know who else extra salt? Deontay Johnson. Extra salt.
That dude. Give me some napkins.
Terrible. The way you relegated him to napkins.
Yeah.
That's insane. Looks like we see Kansas getting the early votage.
Early lead.
Love that.
I know. Jalen Johnson. Fuck him, bro. He was free.
Free as paw, dude. Freer than paw.
Stop.
Yeah.
Is that Kansas?
Kansas leading vote. Mavs catching steam, though.
Kansas OKC might just be Bozo pack of the day.
That could be.
I don't know if that'd even be plus money.
It's
Yeah, I
probably
don't know
like
if it
minus
would.
140.
Yeah.
I'm down to tap into the Bozo pack today.
Yeah.
Whatever we craft.
No, but I'm not fucking around, chat. Although we hit the Bengals last night, I think I lost every other wager I had. Rudy Gobert, chalk. Zay Flowers, chalk. The under in the game, chalk. Bengals ML, chalk. That stupid Idaho play, chalk. It was always Air Force.
Always with Air Force.
Lamar Rush, chalk. Yeah, it's bullshit.
Kansas.
Jeez. All right. Squad ride is Kansas. Mucking platter against UNC tonight in the marquee matchup of the college basketball slate. I'm in. Hunter Dickinson better be fucking locked. Wailing the Jayhawks tonight. They better show up.
I'm so wailing.
Yeah. In on that. WBTL Friday with Rav and Trent getting their platter. Surge are going to start up here soon. Go and pitch Trent some plays, man. We need some winners. We need some dialed in surgeons. We need a 4-piece that's going to smack today. All the fucking whole nine. We need it all.
Whole nine.
We need it all. Lock in. W chat. Stay tuned. We'll be back with some surging.
GG.
GG.